Hey, book friends. Is it that time already? No, it's cool. I'm here. I'm ready. We're fine. Hey, welcome to the Sort of Truth podcast, which I am ready for. The alcohol-fueled, chapter-by-chapter reread of the Sort of Truth series with a craft brew-soaked honey cake. Hopefully that's not too far on the side, though. I would like one front and center right now.
Yeah?
Right now. Wait, is that a thing?
I don't think you can eat one while we podcast, so I feel like that would be a very large problem.
Okay, this isn't for everybody listening. This is just for Jade because she can see me, but watch me.
No, I will not allow that.
Everybody listening to this will immediately click off like, ew, no, gross. I don't want to hear Nate eat. That doesn't sound like a fun time to me.
I'm not cleaning up after your fingers all over everything.
Can't touch the mouse, no computer, no mic.
I feel like that goes along with my syrup thing.
I'll just have to put my hands up. Like I'm giving up to the police or something. Like, I'm sorry.
Or just not eat it while we podcast.
Well, I don't like that option as much, but I think that's the one we're going to have to go with. So, I'm Nate.
And I'm Jade, and on this episode we are trampling through Chapter 7 of Blood of the Fold.
That's right. And again, definitely not eating brew-soaked honey cakes.
Nope, not today.
That's fine. This is actually kind of a shorter chapter. There's not too much to it. It just kind of serves as a pivot point for like Richard to get on to what his plans are.
Yeah, it's kind of I don't know, like instead of a cut scene, this is the segue scene.
The segue scene. Like a montage without music or scene changes or really anything at all.
Yeah, it just puts him in a place to move to the next place.
Yes. And it does get exciting towards the end, even though it's short. It was just kind of like, it's one of those chapters where you're like, okay. You're not blown away by anything, but solid.
Yeah. Kind of like our website, which I want to remind you all to go to. We've had a couple of people who have gone over there and, like, perused the shop and found some things that they wanted to buy, and they bought, and I think that's really cool. So I just want to thank everybody who's gone to it so far, and remind you to do it, if you haven't, at podcastatt.com.
Nailed it. Oh, it sounds so good. It just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
I can't roll my R's. I thought about doing it, but I was like, no, that's not gonna... That's not going to be okay. But yeah, we're proud of it, and people have been on there, and it's cool. It's just really cool. We know that you guys gave us the idea for it, so we're really happy to see that people are actually using it.
Yeah, you guys are cool.
All right, well, with that, we shall get into this chapter. Or I'm sorry, stagger? Stumble? What was it?
Trample.
Trampling. We're going to trample. We will trample our way through. Richard is tired from the past few weeks and the Mriswith fight this morning, but like, he's making his way through the city, following directions that Sander Holt gave him, and he's not there. He's not with it. He's Monday morning Richard for sure.
But we are given, like, a clear-cut time of where we are, like, what has happened. We are not very long from where we saw him the last time. Like, literally that same day, we just missed a significant chunk that he was instructed about some shit, I guess.
Yeah, because we weren't around for Sander Holt giving the instructions.
Yeah, we don't know what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah. Last, they were talking, right? Gratch was around, and then that was the end of that chapter, and so some shit has happened.
Yeah.
But we've talked about this before. About how the little cutscene when you're not with the character. Like, I still believe that Goodkind knows exactly what was said between these two. Might not have made it into the book.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm sure he is.
But, like, again, in just a little bit here, we get some details about what they talked about. Now, of course, that's to help Richard move along through the chapter. But, like, I don't know. The way he writes, I guarantee it was way more specific than what we actually get to read.
Well, I think it's supposed to be kind of like a move, because you're not going back in the timeline. Like, so when you switched characters, time was still present. Like, everything is still, that we've read so far has happened in today, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, when we were talking about the sisters, that all happened in today since Richard had that Merismith fight, and now we're back with Richard, and the amount of time, maybe not, but the amount of time that Verno took that walk, maybe?
I mean, maybe. I don't think there's a way for us to really line it up. I just think a little while has gone by.
Theoretically, yes. Though, that it could link up that, like,
but because
the
of
time
this,
could line up.
Yes, it could. But because of this, we know for sure that we were not with him for a little while. Yes. He worries that he might be lost. He's in a new city, right? He's never been here before, or at least, like, not for long, you know?
Yeah, no.
He's in the city.
Yeah.
Before he was at the palace. They just went right to the palace.
And he's never been here before that. So, brand new city.
Brand new. Brand spankin'. But he's using what he can from his time as a woods guide to help him stay oriented. Stuff like the direction of the sun, certain buildings, like taller buildings, right? He can use as kind of a compass point for him. But that helps him, like, figure out where he is, or if he needs to move in a certain direction. He doesn't need to worry about what the streets are called. And like, if you miss one street, you're completely lost. He's like, no, I gotta go east. It's that way. And so we can just go that way. Because he's good at that.
Right. Like in the woods, he would use landmarks there. So he's just trying to, like, instead of using trees, he's using fucking buildings and not looking down here at all the loud noise and shit going on at, like, surface level where he is. He's trying to keep his eyes up and aware of where he is in the city, because it's really easy to get lost.
Yeah, which I would be completely helpless in his. If I didn't have my navigation on my phone, I would be fucked.
I
I barely know the way home from work. That's a joke. I feel like I could get lost at the bar pretty easy. You know, I don't know what happened. I made a left and then there was beer.
I'm sure you could.
He feels like somebody is following him, but he can't tell who it is. Immediately, he hides the sword, right? Probably should have already been a thing that he was doing, because you're in town, like, with a bunch of people.
People who knew about, like, the sword hasn't been, like, a secret thing. Like, it's been hidden for a while, or, like, gone for a while, but everybody there, maybe not everybody, but a lot of people know that, like, history of the Sword of Truth.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just feel like flashing it around needlessly is kind of stupid. So he should definitely have that shit, like, tucked.
So it's not so much that he has a sword. It's that he has that sword.
Right.
And people are aware.
Yeah.
Like, we live in Michigan, so we can open carry here. If I have, like, my sidearm, I can legally walk down the street, and it's totally fine. However, if you do have your sidearm on you while you walk down the street, you're probably going to get some looks. The police will probably ask you what's going on. Even though you're not breaking any laws, you stick out.
Yeah.
That's what I thought you were getting to. It's like, we'll just tuck the sword so nobody sees me as a threat. But it's not about that. It's about the actual sort of truth.
But even here, like, it is a natural thing for people to open carry. And I think back then it wouldn't be out of the ordinary for somebody to have a weapon.
Yeah, dude's got a sword.
But it's, this conversation kind of makes me think of Assassin's Creed, though, too. Like, when you put more, maybe it's not Assassin's Creed, but the more, like, weapons and shit you put on your body.
Yes, yeah.
The more shit you are, like, the more people are looking at you and, like, you're a threat.
Yeah,
like, why would you have that much shit? So,
you gotta tuck it all away.
Like, okay, I don't really think that one sword is gonna make him stick out, but for this sword in particular, and maybe don't, like, keep it out.
Yeah.
Like, in general, try and keep it concealed a little bit.
Yeah, plus, you know, shiny. People might try to steal that shit. If it's not, like, a threat thing, it's a really nice sword.
Yeah, well, and just, like, the history of it. Like, it's kind of dumb. You're trying to hide. Like, just don't.
Richard never hides. He's not a hider. He'd be like, hey, we gotta be secretive. And then he will walk right down Main Street, all the way up to the palace, and just not even try. Because, you know, why bother? You're fucking Richard.
He's the hero, man.
He's the hero. So on top of this, he's looking around to try and see if there's anything suspicious or out of place. And he can't, like, he has the feeling, but he can't put his finger on it. And it's really weird in amount. It's kind of an intense moment, actually, because you're like, you think something's going to happen right away, but then really nothing happens. He ends up being stopped by a little girl about buying a honey cake.
Yeah, well, and I did think it was, because they let us know right away it was not the Mariswa thing. It's different. It feels different.
Yes.
But he can't see anybody being weird in the crowd. Like, he keeps stopping. There's a lot of fucking people. There's a lot of faces. Nobody looks like they're paying him any attention. So it's strange for Richard to not notice anything out of place when something is out of place, because he's a very observant person.
Yeah, he would be kind of do it.
Yes. But yes, then the honey cakes, the little girl and the granny. I just want to say, I don't think I like honey cakes. Like, I like cinnamon rolls, right?
Okay, I think I know what you're getting to. And I think the main thing about honey cakes is that they have to be, brace yourselves, moist. If it's dry, it's shit.
Well, no, I agree with that, but, like, my point was just, like, here in a second, when he sits down and eats it, he has to, like, clean his fingers off because he's all sticky, and, I don't know, with cinnamon rolls, you can get, a little sticky, okay? They are a little sticky, but it's, like, the bottom side. If you touch them in just the right way, you have minimal stick on your fingers, and it's great, and these seem like they're coated in like a syrup, like honey, and like, I don't like that. I don't want my fingers covered in anything like that. If I can eat it with like a knife and a fork, maybe, but
it's not hand food, is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's all. I just wanted to get that out there. They sound delicious, but I don't think I would be interested.
Well, I'm always interested, and like we said at the top of the show, especially if it's soaked in beer. Sorry for the tease. It's not time for the beer break yet. My apologies, but it's coming. So Richard is so fucking hungry that he gives her what he has in his pocket, which is a silver coin, right? He's got a whole bunch of money from the palace. And that's instead of just the penny that she asked for, which is a really good deal. You can get 100 of these things for $1. I'm going to get so fat. I need to move on. He tells her that she can just give him one every time he sees her until his credit is gone, right? So he's paying ahead. So Richard's got some plans. He just bought like a truckload or like a horse wagon load, a lot. He bought a lot.
Yeah.
And since he spent so much money, even though it's just one coin, Granny notices the silver is a coin from a long ways away, right? Not the money they're used to, which there's still no problem with exchange rate or anything, all the bullshit that we would have to do nowadays. She's like, yeah, no, it's silver. You're good, dude.
Yeah, it's a silver coin, so it's a silver coin. There's no exchange right there.
Right. And in noticing the coin, she notices his sword. And that's when she asks him, hey, taken or given?
Yeah, basically asking if he was a thief or not when it came to the sword.
Yeah, because we know the history of the sword. It's been stolen. It's been bought. I mean, like, not everybody who has had the sword has been a true seeker or even a good person.
Right.
And that's kind of the reputation it has now. So when people see it, people out in public, they're like, either this is a really, really good dude, or this is like the worst dude for me to come across.
Right, which is maybe another reason why you shouldn't be flashing it around.
True. And then she asks, because, you know, she figures he's the seeker, if he's there to remove the vermin. And Richard is like, huh? Because, you know, he's got his own shit going on.
I am not
he's not
pest
here
control.
For this. Yeah. She goes on to say that, look, okay, the girl's parents, they're lazy. They have left to go sit by the palace and wait for the gold that they were promised. So that's what they're doing. They're just waiting to get paid. What's not entirely clear is that, are they waiting for one payout, or that's just what they're doing now? They just sit outside the palace and wait for money.
I thought it was implied that everyone was going to get like a consistent pay from the palace, and since they're not getting it, they're like sitting outside the palace.
Okay, so it could be like a weekly thing.
Yeah, but right now they won't leave the palace because they haven't gotten paid. And so instead of trying to get work and, like, feed their kids or whatever, apparently they're just starving on the steps of the palace because they're expecting money.
Because somebody's going to give it to them.
Yeah, even though Granny's like, you need to make money, and the little girl's making money, they aren't.
Yeah, they're literally not doing shit then. She believes that the young people are all lazy now, right? Because, well, now they have an easy out. I'm